We were just talking stupid shit before we started this video. Hey, folks, minutes after writing.
Minutes after writing.
1st of August.
1st of August. And we stopped writing at 2:52 p.m. and it is right now 5:45 p.m. So that means...
Well, it would have been 3 hours in 7 minutes. So 173 minutes after.
173 minutes after. Okay, I'm trying to just start this one, I guess.
Go ahead.
All right, today was a good, interesting work day.
Yeah.
In that, okay, our first segment, big segment, lots of content, lots of
pages.
Character focus with really great, subtle, overt execution of lore and emotional tragedies and stuff like that.
And jabs at things. At philosophies that Brand and I just despise.
Yes. Very well woven together. Honestly, it was very well structured. Mm-hmm. We really didn't stray away at all from what we wrote in the segments.
No.
We just
there was a lot
there. We moved a couple of things here and there, dialogue wise, but we've been doing that a lot, so that's fine because all the content is there of what we put in. So it was tough. It was definitely tough, but it was one of the good kind where it worked. It was exactly what we wanted. It paid off great, and I love what we wrote. Now, when I said interesting,
go ahead.
We read the next segment after this one, to get us emotionally and in our heads and spiritually prepared to write it tomorrow, right? Then when Garrett and I read it, there's a lot of repeated content, and not in a good way. And it's like it was good. It was good what we had in mind. It was great.
But it was well written, well structured, ready to go.
But to following this one, it was like a little too similar. It's okay to have two similar back-to-back scenes as long as you tweak it just enough to make it just different enough. But this one, we had no interest in actually tweaking it to keep it. What we actually did was... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so silly. Not the next segment. I'm sorry. The next segment following this one, we loved it. Is the segment after that.
Yeah, so today's segment was written. Tomorrow's segment, we read tomorrow's segment, and then the segment following that segment. So the two segments tomorrow that we had read and prepared for, the second segment for tomorrow, following tomorrow's immediate segment,
I'm sure you can follow along.
Segment 1 that's to be written tomorrow. Segment 2 is the one that was too familiar to segment 1.
So yeah, there. Segment 2 is too familiar to segment 1. And we weren't up for... First, we talked about...
We did.
We talked about, should we really get rid of it? And then we talked about what this segment had about can we make an entirely new segment, as hard as that is?
Or make it work?
Can we tweak it? Can we make it work? Or can we move the key points of the segment to perhaps later on in our show? Or maybe put a little bit of that in the most recent in the segment we just wrote today as an example. So we did talk about that, and ultimately we decided to. I'm just gonna jump right here. We decided to cut it because we decided to actually move something we really want to talk about to a later segment in our episode, in this episode, and it really worked. And also another little bit of content we decided to move to a later episode. And we can keep that in our heads. So of the key points, we managed to spread them apart into separate segments and separate points throughout our show. So we ultimately decided to cut it because we just didn't have the drive to keep it. And for me, personally, it's always hard. Me, not Garrett. Yeah. Never Garrett. For me, it's always extremely hard for me to cut our segments, what we wrote, because I have this mindset where I put all this effort into this really cool shit, and now I gotta cut it because it makes sense. It doesn't matter whether it makes sense or not. For me, it's hard. So I had the harder time doing it, but I knew it had to be done the moment Garrett read it. It wasn't even like an angry realization. It was just a calm realization. It's like, oh, you know what?
We don't need this.
We don't need this, and I don't know if I want to fight for keeping this segment as much. So that was the interesting part. So that's why I want to really talk about it personally, because I'm good. Garrett, you want to talk more about anything?
Yeah. I want you folks to understand that Brandon as a creator and Brandon as a writer, if he ever did anything on his own, he knows exactly every single piece creatively, what fits within the realm of what he's creating. So Brandon establishes exactly the story and the tone he wants to go with, the characters, and it's not like it's restrictive controlled. It's simply he knows everything that fits perfectly into this box.
I would say actually in a fun way before you elaborate on that, I would say to put it in the most happiest and truest way possible, I know everything I would love to see and I put it in there and I don't need any more.
Yeah, that's perfect. So he doesn't add anything extra beyond what he knows he wants. Which is actually a brilliant way to write. And so when he heavily details a segment or a scene, it's exactly what he wants. So deleting it goes against his entire principle of writing. In Brandon wrote Solo, everything that has been detailed exists and will make it into the final work. When I work, I throw in everything I want, and then I let it unravel itself. And then by the time we reach a certain point, then we'll realize, oh, we actually don't need this anymore because it was talked about before. Because that's how I create. I create with, okay, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, I want this, I want that. I don't care about the continuity because I do. And it will just sync up. Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. Oh, and actually it works out for me.
Actually, it works out a lot. And I'm not kidding. I'm being perfectly honest here. You would think from that funny excerpt of how Garrett describes his writing that it'd be sloppy. You'd be wrong. Garrett is so, I'm going to say, energetically and spiritually in tune with what he writes.
Yeah,
he never screws over his show.
Yeah.
He never screws over anything he's ever written. It's just that Garrett doesn't worry about the semantics.
Yeah, nor do I worry about deleting either. I don't worry.
That's semantics when you think about it, though. Just external things, just deleting stuff, you know.
Well,
okay. It's big for me.
I wouldn't call it deleting a whole segment that we worked hours on a semantic. I consider that hard work that needed to go away because you realize in the fuller picture it no longer works.
No, that's
in
true.
My fuller picture, because I can't create my world the way Brandon can. When I write by myself, I operate on a feeling. I don't operate on externals. And then I make the externals match the feeling. That's why it can all sync up like that. And that's why I can keep adding and subtracting and subtracting until it all balances itself out. Brandon knows I know how I feel, and I like all this stuff. It fits.
Yep, that's how I work.
Yeah.
So we combine it, though, and this is what happens.
Yeah, when we combine together, because we both accommodate the other's writing style, very seldom will you see something get out of control to a style that we don't like. Because what I do hate the idea that a world can't expand beyond what I have set forth. I like to let the world or the characters tell me what to do, and then I go forward. Brandon doesn't like deleting things when he knows it's absolutely great. So on occasion, we would run into these moments where we would have to do something that the other one doesn't like in keeping with their writing style. Today was set today, so deleting the content was a lot harder on Brandon than it was for me. And I want to just bring up this point because I like to say how impressive my brother is, that he can write like that. That he can just envision everything, and everything that goes in there fits perfectly. No question. There's no double up. There's no mistaking it. He just gets it. He just knows what he wants, and it all just works. Me, I know what I love. I know the feeling, but I don't really give a shit about scenes. This must stay, or this has to stay, or this has to go, or this doesn't have to go. I don't really give a shit about that. I just care about how the feeling carries itself and the message conveys itself from beginning to end more than I do about the outsides. So Brandon cares about the outsides and the insides like pretty much equally.
Yeah, Garrett's right. I do. I really do.
I'm all about the feeling beyond the outside. That's me.
Yeah, Garrett's I think we said this many times, but I like saying again. Yeah. Garrett, he works on feeling first. I usually go with I switch off. Most of the time I do visual, external story stuff first, and then that's usually what I go by.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure, I'll be honest, most people probably go by that. Not that's a big deal, but that's just me. That certainly is me.
Yeah. So that happened today. And so we're one segment less before we cross the finish line. We're predicting at the latest it's going to be around like August 16 at the latest.
At the latest, August 16, yeah, or 15. August 16 or 15 at the literally at the latest.
Something like that, which is actually really really good because we were hoping to finish this episode in sometime in August, even at the latest possible in August, because then we want at least 4 more months to write the next episode, because the next episode is a crazy one.
Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna say that right now.
We've been talking. This one's been planned for years, and this one's been planned for years, but the next one has also been planned for years. Okay, all of our episodes pretty much have been in the works for years.
But Garrett and I, we know the weight of the next one. All of our episodes carry weights, but if you knew what we were writing, you would understand why the one following this could take a really long time.
Even if you knew just a synopsis of the next episode, you'd understand.
You'd understand the gravity, as it were, the weight of it.
Yeah. let's try and give them one without giving away too much. That'd be kind of fun.
Okay, well then I'll give you a fun example.
And we'll close up on that. So.
Okay, I'll give you a fun example why the next one's so big. In short, it's a really it's what do you have a way to describe it?
Yeah, it's a culmination episode.
Yes, a culmination episode where a bunch of plot points and characters intersect and woof. Mm-hmm. And it has to be executed a very specific way without it being campy.
Yeah, without it being like, oh, here's that episode.
Yeah.
It's going to be done where every single piece makes sense, and there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of returning characters, a lot of characters meeting on screen for the first time.
A lot of new characters.
And it's all surrounded by one big event, so to speak.
So to speak.
And the event itself has several phases. There's not just one moment like, oh, it's time like a ballroom dance. And it's all about this big dance that's happening. It's like there's the dance, there's the rehearsal for the dance, then there's the after party with the dance, and then there's, for some reason, another dance on the yacht kind of situation. So
yeah, it's several things within this big, like, I don't know, crescendo event. I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, crescendo. I could be using it wrong, but it's this big event, as it were. There are lots of moving parts within that event.
I want to look up if you use that correctly. It'd be cool if you did.
I only know they use crescendo because they used it in Left 4 Dead 2, calling it like the big crescendo at the end.
Right. But then I will look that up.
No, I said seriously, I have no idea if you used it correctly.
Yeah, I don't know if you did, but it's an event. A lot's happening,
yes.
And in a lot of stages with a lot of characters, and that's what the episode following this episode is about. So that's why we wanted at least 4 months to work on that one before the year is out, so that we can successfully say we've written a lot of episodes this year.
We haven't had a target amount. I'm not going to say it. We had a target amount of episodes we wanted to write this year, and if we write that big episode coming up, we would have hit our targeted episode, and we would
for the first time. Actually,
it's very hard.
For the first time in our entire writing career, writing this show, we would have hit our goal.
Yes. So it's really
big deal.
It's a big deal. It's really, and it's also really exciting and also scary. Not scary for me because I'm almost certain. I'm like 100% certain we're going to be able to finish that upcoming episode with a little bit of change. I think we're going to finish with a little bit. I think so too. So that'd be cool.
Yep. So there you go, folks. Minutes after August 1st. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh. See you.
I'm gonna sneeze.
Bye.